Catskills, New York, up in those like mountain lodges things. And so we were your entertainers. Actually, it reminds me of one of my favorite Saturday Night Live episodes.
No?
And that was back in the day when it made me laugh. And it was Bill Murray.
I love Bill Murray.
And he is a lounge singer in the upstate New York Catskill Mountains. And he's doing a song about Star Wars. And he's like, Star Wars, those creatures in outer space. Did Darth Vader scare you as much as he scared me? Star Wars. I can't remember the rest of it. But I would just sit there and I like roared laughing. And when that came up on a repeat, you know, woo, you know this girl was watching that just so I could see Bill Murray singing that. And then there's one with Dan Aykroyd, and it's a little X-rated, but he's Fred Garwin, male prostitute. I guess Jane Curtin's character is like a female business exec out of town. So she's at a hotel, so she calls for an escort, an escort service. So she calls for a guy to come over, and his name is Fred Garwin, male prostitute. And I'm just like, oh my God. He's like laying on the bed in boxer shorts. Those boxer shorts, a white t-shirt, and black socks with garters. And so, from this day on, that's how I, if somebody says Dan Aykroyd, I'm like Fred Garwin. Male prostitute. But I'm a laughter person. I don't watch.
Me too.
I'll watch like Christian-based drama. I like that, historical dramas, things to that effect. I'm like, oh, I love that movie. It was Patriot with Mel Gibson. God, I love that movie.
I bet you do.
Oh, I do. I love Mel Gibson. I love the drama.
Was it the movie or the eye candy?
It was the eye candy in the movie. How about that?
Okay.
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie, yeah.
It's about our country
Right.
and the beginning of our country. And then it was like, that is one thing I'm very thankful for. That, yeah. So,
I don't think I've ever seen it.
he could be my Fred Garwin. He would do a good job at that. Fred Garwin, male prostitute. Anyway,
we digress.
yes, going back to I don't watch movies that have a lot of, and I cuss like a sailor. I won't lie, but I don't like watching movies that have a lot of cussing.
Yeah, I don't either. It's kind of weird.
I'm kind of like, you got 2 hours to tell a story.
Yeah.
Drop the F. Just cut it out. I don't need to. I can get the emphasis. If you're a good actor, I should be able to feel the F-bomb without you ever saying it.
Right?
So why don't I practice what I preach? I don't know.
Why don't you? My kids make fun of me because I like cheesy movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like really cheesy. Do you remember the after-school specials?
God, yes!
And they were like totally cheesy. You look at them now, they were like totally cheesy. The acting was bad.
Oh, yeah. But that was our thing.
That's right. That was like a thing. It was,
Oh my God.
It was great.
Can you come over? You want to come over and hang out this afternoon? No! The ABC after school special's on. You only got black and white. I'm going home to watch it in color.
That's right. That's right. That was like the bomb. But so now.
That's just the Hallmark, a pretty cute precursor to Hallmark.
That's right. It was. Well, the Hallmark movies were around back then too, but they just came on like once a quarter or so.
Yeah.
The
Hallmark specials.
The Hallmark TV special or whatever. And I loved those too growing up. So now I'll be like put a movie on and Daniel plops down next to me. He goes, I know what happens.
Oh God, I knew.
And I'm like, what do you mean? You see this?
She dies, or they get married.
He goes, she hates him. He thinks she's weird. And they're going to fall in love and get married at the end. So the end of the movie comes and they don't technically get married. They fall in love and they don't get married. So I'm like, Daniel, you were
it opens it up. I was trying to get that off my screen. I'm like, I don't know. It's a telemarketer because they call me every morning from one number or another number. I got to remind myself to block that number. And I'm kind of like, I thought telemarketers had to work from like 9 to 8 or something.
But they probably are wherever they are.
Okay, well, they're calling me. No, they're calling me allegedly from a 405. Majority area code's 405. I'm like, come on now. Don't be calling me that early, especially on my day off. Please.
Don't be calling me that early, period. I mean, it takes me a minute to wake up. And
no, I usually...
I don't wake up happy.
I've been waking up every morning for the last, like, 3 or 4 mornings at 3:25.
I have been too. What's up with that?
Okay, so what's 3:25? I mean, that's like that's, you know,
It's a one.
I'm talking about my belly, too. I mean, that's like a lung to belly area time frame, you know, because if you look at, you know, daylight savings versus, you know, is it fall or is it spring, you know, so I'm like, is it something with my gut? And then I'm like, no, because I mean, I wake up and I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, I've been waking up pretty refreshed in the mornings, but yeah, I've been waking up about between 3:20 and 3:30 every morning.
So what's the deal? All my spiritualist friends, what's the deal with us waking up at 3:25?
Yeah, it's weird. Ish, yeah.
You know, what's the deal on
It's
that?
not exact, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was kind of strange. I was like,
And I have kind of, it drives my husband crazy because I don't have to set an alarm. I know that if I have to be up at this time, I just tell myself that before I go to bed. And I wake up on time and I'm fine. And so the last few mornings when I've been waking up at like 3:30ish around there, I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, okay, I guess it's time to get up. And so I'll lay there for a few minutes and then I roll over and grab my phone and see what time it really is. I'm like, are you kidding me?
why am I getting up at 3:25?
Why am I even awake?
I mean, I get up and, you know, and I even, like, make my dogs get up and go outside and go to the bathroom, and, you know, I'm like, get up and go outside. Usually the cat will try to, like, run out the door, too, or whatever, and then, you know, then later on, but see, I couldn't do the program, like, going, okay, I need to wake up at 7, because I'm going to start waking up at 5, freaking out and paranoid I'm going to oversleep at 7. Yeah. So, no, I just go ahead and I use the alarm. It just makes my life a lot easier.
I usually set an alarm also, but I'm usually up. I usually wake up right before the alarm goes off, which actually kind of ticks me off, to be honest.
Good morning, Matthew. Just
hey, Matthew.
On there. How are you? Matthew had a birthday a couple of days ago.
Ah, happy birthday!
He went to, can I tell where you went for your birthday? Let's see if he answers me, because I don't see him back. Well, if he doesn't answer me in a couple minutes, then I'll go ahead and tell. But, yeah, it was his birthday a couple of days ago. Yeah, Matthew, actually, he text messages me, hey, are you at the office? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in between clients. You got a minute? And I guess I had set the phone down, and so the next thing I know, Matthew's there. You know, it was like, I had, you know, minutes before my clients anyway. So he brings me one of those ring lights set up and everything. So I'm like wickedly excited. So I took it to my house because I'm setting up a studio in my house. Because I figured, well, if I'm getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, throw a ponytail in or a braid and, you know, like slap some makeup on real quick.
Just throw a shirt on.
And
nobody knows what's on the
go watch some videos.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's awake somewhere in the world at 3:30 in the morning.
Well, even if they're not, they'll watch it later. It's all good.
Well, I'm laughing and I was sitting there going, okay, so is it there are people that are overseas that watch us? You know, because we actually have quite a following overseas.
Yeah, we've noticed that.
I know, and I'm kind of like,
it's like, are we going to go on a trip soon?
Yeah.
Overseas.
Yeah. You know, next thing we'll know, we'll be on like Pakistan TV or something. You know, or
with a translator.
Abu Dhabi, you know, I think they speak, you know, or UAE, you know, I think they speak English in those areas. I think they might have some English in there. But, you know, so I laugh, I giggle, and I'm like, what the heck? I might as well just get up in the morning for them so that, you know, like they're not staying up really wickedly late
couple that I really enjoy watching in the Middle East. But they're very cool to watch.
Oh, really?
Khalid.
You need to save it on, or post it on those comments.
They're kind of funny, but they do these videos to kind of break the stereotype that all the rest of the world has of the Middle East.
Oh, yeah.
So they talk about their arranged marriage, and I mean, they do funny stuff. They're silly. They're ridiculously funny.
Yeah.
But they're so in love with each other, and it's just amazing. So they talk about, the treatment of women in the Middle East, and how, the movies portray and the news portray, and he goes, but for the most part, we don't do that. We're not really like that.
Okay.
We take care of our women and do things. But one of the videos I watched, and it wasn't them making the video, but they were in the video. It was another guy that was doing it, and they were just part of it. But they were talking about in the Middle East, you can go over to someone, and I don't remember exactly where they are. You can welcome yourself into someone's home. They have to feed you. They have to give you a place to sleep. They have to take you, show you around or whatever for 3 days. And then after 3 days, they can ask why you're there and what you need from them. What you need. But before that, they have to be like, that's like their culture is to be like super hospitable. They've also said that if you're touristy over there, if you're touristing and going over there to visit and stuff, that the natives, the people who are from there, will argue over who's going to pay for your dinner, and they'll pay for your souvenirs and all kinds of things because they're just happy to have people come.
Where is that country? Look that up.
I'm gonna have to figure out where it's at because I don't remember exactly.
I'm gonna make sure I add that to my to where I post and boost it. I'm gonna make sure that country is number one on there.
Would be cool.
Yeah.
But they're really awesome. Khalid and I can't say it the way they say it. Salimas, something like that.
Okay, very cool. I'll have to look that up or send me or post that.
Yeah, I'll post it. I'll find it and post it. So.
Yeah, I've been watching, and I've loved this dog for years, but Caruso, the dachshund. So they're Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, probably whatever, TikTok, whatever. But I watch him on YouTube. I kind of follow him on Facebook, but I really don't get on Facebook anymore. So I've been following him on YouTube, and so he has seasons. And they did this one called Game of Bones. That was a takeoff from the Game of Thrones, and it was so cute. I watched it 6 times.
Oh wow!
I was like, and I never sat through a whole episode of Game of Thrones. Never. I
haven't watched it at all.
I watched little snippet parts.
I've never been into it.
But it was too much. It was too intense for me. Like I said, I like laughter, and if you're not making me laugh, I have to move on because I believe that laughter is very healing. And so I was going to the casino, and I'll get to there in just a second. And so Matthew went to a really nice casino, and he sent me pictures. It was really cool. And they have a bowling alley there.
Where is this?
And Durant. Oh. It's the Choctaw Casino.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so I've been watching all the Carusos, and he makes me laugh. In Game of Thrones, they had the Ghost Wiener Busters. So it's the Ghostbusters, wiener dog style. And I have weenies. I have 2 weenies, but I think one's more of a weenie and less of a chewy. And the other one's more chewy and less weenie.
I love cheweenies. I've had several cheweenies, and I love cheweenies.
I think that they are just delightful, loving honey buns. But they take up my bed, and they take up my pillow. And then my Jack Russell Terrier takes up the other side of the pillow, so I have a snippet about this big for the bottom of my head. Yeah, I sleep with all not all of them, but many of them.
Yeah, I would sleep with my dogs if my husband would let me. He doesn't like the dogs that
my dog said that they will allow us to sleep on the bed with them. So
they rule.
They rule.
also because his body was longer than Shih Tzus tend to be a little shorter, and so Lhasas are a little longer, beefier. Yeah, Shiatsu. I don't know. Anyway, but he didn't have a collar on, and I'm like, okay, well, I was in the middle of doing something in the backyard, and I'm like, well, I'll take pictures of him and post him on the neighborhood Facebook page. And then we heard the car drove by. We heard somebody yelling out, like they were looking for somebody. And so Daniel scooped him up, and Wyatt and Daniel went running down the road to chase this car down and give him back to his owner. But she was so sweet. She posted on the Facebook page. She goes, "Thank you for the awesome boys that returned my baby to me." And so I messaged her and I said, "Was that your guy?" He said he was so adorable. She sent me pictures of him. But she goes, "Yeah, he likes to go visit people." She goes, "He's so fat and lazy. I'm surprised he got as far as he did." But he was so sweet. Made me miss my Zachy.
No, I like that. And critters bring animals bring a lot of joy. And I know some people, they'll complain about the dog hair. They'll complain about, the dog smell. My kids will come in and they'll go, "Smells like a barnyard in here, Mom." And I'm like, "Let me spray." Damn it, But I think that I believe that the joy that they bring to my spirit and the healing that they bring far outweighs the dog hair or whatever. I was like, get Rubbermaid gloves, the dishwashing gloves. They're great for removing dog hair, which I need to go and get a new pair. So it's like if you learn the little tricks of the trade of being a dog mom or a dog dad, then you're fine. But I was like, no, I love my pumpkins.
I've even seen where they've taken, you see,
Lipstick.
I had a fight with my lipstick this morning. It's like all over my hands. It was all over. It was ridiculous. I don't know how it happened. Anyway, I've seen where they've done dots of hot glue on the Rubbermaid gloves. Just in love, cool, to help remove dog hair and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And those dots are slightly sticky, even when they're cool, and then they just wash off and they stay that way. So it's supposed to work really well.
I love that. Because I was like, I love my dog kids. I'm not giving them up. Didn't give up my human ones, won't give up my ones. A chicken you can have.
I love my dogs too. I do. I wish my family loved them as much as I do.
I know, kind of like, and it's weird when people go, "I'm not dog people," and I'm like, how are you not a dog person? They're so cute. Don't your dogs talk to you too? And we have a cat, and our cat loves her dogs, hates other cats, but loves her dogs, loves her chicken. Chicken drives me crazy.
I had a Moxie for a little while. You know what a Moxie is?
What's a Moxie?
A Maltese. Let me see, what was the cross? It's a Maltese and something else. I forgot.
It's in a bobcat, no.
Something. What was it? No, they're a dachshund, I think. It's a Maltese and a dachshund. I don't remember. Anyway, she was all white and fluffy. Her name was Daisy. And she was the most precious dog ever. So because if anybody knows me, they know that I wanted like 100 kids, but I only had 6. And so after my youngest, I was, she's like,
oh, I know what she's talking about.
And so
we had 10 kids, all.
So after my youngest, it got to the point where it's like we were still trying and we weren't having any more, and it got to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm done because I don't want to start over at this point. And so then I was like, well, I need something. I need a baby. I need something to take care of. And so I got my old lady dog is what I called it. And so I found this. We got this Moxie, and I pulled out. This is how bad I wanted another baby. Okay, I know it's weird. I pulled out my baby carriers and I carried that little dog around in my baby carriers.
Oh yeah. No.
Everywhere I went, I had this little dog, and she was like this big. I mean, little. So everywhere I went, this little dog went with me. I was making her little vest that said ESA on them, emotional support animals, so I could take her to the grocery store with me. It was bad.
That was bad. She's gonna burn.
It was bad. And then she got sick. She died. And I was so sad because
She absorbed all of your ding dang emotions.
Probably.
Killed your
She
dog.
probably blew up.
No.
But that dog, and somebody asked me one time because, I mean, I had her for like just about 3 weeks, so she was housebroken. Totally housebroken.
Oh,
And they're like, how did you housebreak her? I'm like, I never put her down. I never put her down. I had her in a baby swing. I was holding her. If I put her down, it was because I walked outside.
I'm over here laughing in my head. So she raised her puppy to be like a Chinese princess back, 500 years ago, where they never touched the ground.
I brushed her every day.
I was like, that dog's paws never hit the pavement.
Right? Yeah.
That's sad.
She had beautiful, beautiful. She was a baby. She was this big, and we lived out in the country.
She would have been eaten by the chicken hawks.
Or coyote. I couldn't put her down.
No, yeah, you're right.
So if I put her down, I put her down outside with a leash on, and I stood right there next to her until she did her little potty thing, and then I scooped her back up.
No, you're right. Out in the country, oh yeah.
She was,
You'll
and
have
I
crazy.
I took her everywhere. Everywhere I went, she went with me.
Between hawks and coyotes. Yeah, no, I get it now. Okay, I will not make fun of you doing that anymore.
So then she died, and we found another doggy at a shelter in Wichita Falls. She popped up on Facebook, and I went. And I was sick. It was Christmas Eve, and I was sick as a dog. Literally, not really. Anyway, I had a fever and like the flu and stuff.
So she went.
So I told my husband. Yeah, I told Brett. I said, "You need to go get this dog." And so he did. He drove about an hour to go get that dog for me.
That's a man who loves his wife.
I mean, that was pretty amazing. So, and I had that dog for several years. She died right after we moved up here.
She did.
Yeah, it was pretty sad.
Well, Matthew went to the Choctaw Casino, and I want to say they had a movie theater in there, but I don't think so. I think I'm just dreaming now.
If they had a bowling alley, they could have.
They have a bowling alley, and I was like, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because it's like a resort. So it's like, so if I want to go gambling, what are my teenagers going to do? I don't want them sitting up there in that room acting a fool up there in that room. They can go act a fool over there at the bowling alley.
There you go.
I was like, I love that. Make it family. I mean, and it's kind of like in the casino resorts, because, I love WinStar. And I was like, there's really not anything family-oriented other than eating.
The swimming pool.
In the swimming pool, but it's too cold for the swimming pool right now.
Yes.
So if you were going to go, because if you were going to go during the cold season when the swimming pool is closed, because they have a swimming pool over at Choctaw, it looked really cool. And anyway, so I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, what are the kids going to do?
Yeah.
I don't want the kids sitting up there watching movies, and then I'm going to feel guilty out there doing like on my machine. And the kids are there.
So you go, babies, go watch a movie for mommy while I go down.
Well, I was going to take my grandkids. So I like hanging out with my grandkids.
Yeah.
So
I do too.
I was like, I'll take my grandkids to the casino resort with me, and I'm sure their parents are like, what? And I was like, yeah, now I can take them to the Choctaw one.
And they can bowl.
And they can go bowling and do that kind of stuff. So, I mean, because I know they like to bowl. I watch it be like $50 a pin, but, I better hope I win some money out on the floor.
That's why I say, you better hook them up with a movie. Mm-hmm. You go gamble. You win some money.
You come back, give them bowling money. Go back down on the floor, win some more money, bring them some snack money. No, actually, I'd probably show up with like 2 coolers full of food. Mm-hmm. Make the kids run out to the car and go get it. Go get your snacks out of the car.
No, mine is over.
Grandma, weren't you going to park in Valley? Hell no, I got like coolers in the back. Got my grandkids, man. These boys eat like,
It's true. It's so true. So true.
So, no, I'm excited. About Choctaw Casino. I'm like, I think I want to go. Is there a Groupon for me?
And as much as we hate Groupons, she's like, I'm going to use a Groupon.
No, actually, I have used a Groupon, and I went to Lake Murray. and stayed at the state park. Okay, and normally when you check in at places, you can check in at 3 in the afternoon. We were not allowed to check in until after 7. And then they surely boot your butt out the door at 11 a.m.
Oh, wow.
So I was not happy. So I don't know if it was because I had a Groupon,
or if that was just their policy,
or if that was their, whatever. But yeah, and so we actually stayed 2 nights. I only used a Groupon for 1 night. They were like dreading it when I was calling them and telling them, I had a Groupon. They thought I had Groupons for both nights. And I'm like, no. And I was like, personally, I don't think your cabins are worth $150, but okay. I think some of that stuff is overpriced.
Yeah.
I don't really think that they're worth that much. I went out to Ten Killer and we stayed at the state park there, and that was hideous. It was like you turned on the water faucet and the water was brown for about 45 minutes coming out of the faucet before it turned clear. And I'm like, what the hell? I was like, state park, that means that they receive state funding. I want to know what y'all are doing with the funding.
Well, also, but remember,
and then now they charge.
The state cut the funding.
Okay.
No, recently, and now they're charging to get into state parks, which I don't know. That frustrated me because you and I were going out to the state parks and taking kids and hiking and wildcrafting and stuff, and it's like, well,
now you can't even wildcraft.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I just go where there's no cameras. I still wildcraft.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Put me in jail? Go ahead. I look good in orange.
I prefer the zebra print personally.
Well, I noticed that when the lines go this way, it makes me look bigger.
Yeah, this is true.
So I was like, can you do them?
Can you do it vertical?
Vertical lines,
Oh,
Or actually, it would really make me happy if you just made it like a zebra print. Because, I like animal prints. And no, I am not a beta kitten. That's an MK Ultra thing.
We could do diagonal lines.
Do I?
Supposed to make you look taller.
You're right.
So let's go with the diagonal look. Yeah.
White and black is the new orange. Zebra is the new print. Bitches, Oh.
Have you done your precepts this morning?
No, I have not.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. And you'll be proud of me. I was not even snarky or rude this morning on Twitter.
Very good.
I've actually, and I'll tell you, once I stepped back from Facebook, and what I mean is I deleted it off my phone. And I do not have internet at home because if we had internet at home, my husband and I would never get off computers.
Yeah.
We would be like this. Yeah. YouTube, Netflix, have 5 different screens going with everything. That's how bad we would be because we've been there and done that.
Yeah.
So we got rid of internet at home to curb that. And so then I've been taking apps. Every week I take an app off. But I can't remember my password. So I'm scared to take my Twitter off. I'm scared to take the Twitter off my phone. So yeah, I have been known to get up on my Twitter and it was just like if everybody's rude and nasty or the energy on there is really like that, I'm just like, I'll step out for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And during that time, I'm like, I need to chill it out. So I started just kind of like starting to post up videos now and then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I'm just going to do.
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't do a whole lot of interacting on Facebook and stuff. I'm mostly just posting stuff.
Yeah, it was
articles and things like that. So.
I used to, and the one thing that I found was that, we all, and I'm going to say this on both sides, we all talk about how tolerant we are and how open we are to the perceptions, views, perspectives of other people. And then when you start looking on Facebook or you start looking on Twitter, Gab, any one of the yickety yaks where you're doing posts and stuff, you'll notice that we are not tolerant people, we are not loving people, we are not kind people. And when we are on social media, when we've got, the screen or a keyboard between us, we say ugly, hateful,
I have a theory about that.
horrendous things that we would never dream of saying face to face.
Yeah. And I think that's because you don't have the exchange of energy.
Exactly.
You don't have that exchange of energy. So
No.
you can't have a civil conversation via social media because you are not perceptual in it. You're not
Exactly.
perceiving the other person's emotions, and they're not perceiving yours.
And there is no energetic contact.
Right.
With it. Now, but I'm going to say, as a person that works with energy, I feel energy, like when I'm reading a text, I'll feel it. Sometimes they'll say something really benign, and I'll say, that was the most sarcastic. Damn, they're sarcastic just like me. I love it. I'm over there, and I'm like, oh, I picked up some sarcasm there. Or I'll say, let me clarify, or let me ask you to clarify what are you meaning on this? And then they have to say, well, I'm being sarcastic. Or, no, I truly meant, I hope I have a great day.
Yeah.
Because it was just like after the previous conversation or the previous text, and then have a great day. Is it have a great day? Excuse me on that. But I had to get my point across. Or, have a great day.
I love that. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
No, because that's not what you're telling me. You're telling me to, bugger off or whatever, on that. So, but yeah, I was like, and that was what I noticed. And I'm calling myself out on that. There was things that I could say or would say that I would never say to your face.
Yeah.
In that manner. I would never say you're a effing piece of, POS, garbage, eating slime bag. Right. Hey, that's too much energy for me to expend to you, but it's on my fingertips.
Right.
And actually, when I'm typing like that, or I'm posting something like that, I'm usually like this. Hey, what's going on? Let the dog outside.
So you're not even totally engaged.
I'm not even totally engaged.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like I sit back and I'm like, I know that I'm purposely pushing your buttons because you respond with some crap back at me. And so I'm like, oh, here we go. I love it. Trolling,
Yeah.
There have been a couple of times that I was probably really kind of, something that was said that really kind of pissed me off. And it was, I have passions. I have soapboxes, and I'm very anti-pedophilia, and I'm very anti-trafficking, whether it's humans, drugs, contraband, guns, whatever. I'm very against trafficking and very against pedophilia. So it's like when people discount that, like it's no big deal, and I'm like, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
So I think those are the times that I kind of go off, and I've said a couple ugly things to pedophiles. If you have it in your bio that you're a pedophile or that you're a minor attracted person, I'm like, why would you post that shit?
Yeah.
Because you're looking for other ones.
Right.
You want to create a network, so.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
laughter is the medicine.
Yeah, my friend told me last night, she goes, don't be afraid to cry. I'm like, I'm not afraid to cry. I've done a lot of crying in the last couple of years.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I would rather laugh.
I cry all the time.
I would rather laugh.
Crying, crying is a release of energy, and people don't always realize that. And sometimes it's kind of like, you're overwhelmed and you're feeling all these things, and you're like holding it back, and I'm like, let it flow. Because they'll be in session with me, and they're trying to hold back the tears while they're on the table, and I'm like, let it flow.
Just let it go.
Let it go. Let it flow. Let your love flow.
So, Doc often says, Dr. Schachter over on 59th Street, he often will, when he does his scan that he does, it's called an EMI, and it tests the master points for reflexology. so he brings together the physical and the emotional and everything, so it, you know, it balances all that out to try to figure out where things are going wrong in the body. But his is like, he goes, oh, liver, you need to cry, don't you? So his theory is that tears are stored in the liver, and so when we're not filtering that out by crying, then all of that gets stored in the liver and causes problems within the body. And he will poke on you.
Make you cry.
He'll make you cry. He'll make you cry. He's like, just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. You know.
Metaphorically speaking, it changes your perspective. It clears the eyes. I mean, it's like a huge eye rinse or a vision or perspective rinse.
Right.
And so then you look at it from a different perspective. You know, it's kind of like it's very cathartic to just let it go. Just like people will talk about screaming, that they'll go out and just scream. And I'm like, personally, I've tried it, and I felt more rage when I screamed than I did beforehand.
I find that even though if I feel like, you know, you get to the point where you're like, I just want to scream, you know, because I'm so frustrated or so, you know, whatever, and I just want to scream, I feel like when I say that or I think that, my throat actually tightens up, and then I can't scream.
That's why I like laughter. Laughter therapy. I better go. Let it out.
I met a lady who does laughter therapy. She's actually
Was it down in Norman?
Yeah, she's down in Norman. We need to get her on sometime. She would be fun to talk to.
Oh yes.
I think you would enjoy her.
I'm into the. I think that's really
a
really important is the laughter.
Yeah, and she does the whole fake laugh because it really
ha 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 he he. Yeah.
And throw your head back and just belly laugh, you know, you know, type thing. But she does some of that. But yet she's funny. She's a funny person.
I think it is very, very effective. I'm a very big fan of laughter therapy.
Yeah. And sometimes you gotta fake it to make it.
I agree. You know.
So you throw that head back and laughing. It's like sending messages and releasing those chemicals to.
That's why I love YouTube.
Oh, I do too.
I'm like Crusoe. Now I know I can watch Game of Bones.
Game of Bones.
Game of Bones.
So one of my favorite YouTube channels, I guess, to watch when I need some good laughter is Dry Bar Comedy.
Oh, I like that.
Love Dry Bar Comedy. Love Dry Bar Comedy because it's clean, so I know I'm not going to hear any cussing or anything really crude, and I'll just lay in bed and I'll just laugh and laugh and laugh.
I'm trying to remember. There's a guy that's got like 5 or 6 kids, and so he does a lot of comedy about family life, married life, and I'm like, dang it, I can't. He's redheaded, and I was sitting there, and he's got like 5 kids, 6, but he was. I see, because I enjoy comedy like that, where they're looking at reality. Dave Chappelle had a funny one that was, talking about his family life, his wife, his kids, the neighbors, and I really enjoyed that. And then you watch another one, and I'm like, I don't even want to hear that.
Yeah.
When we had Netflix, we had gone, and we were like, oh, we're in the mood for stand-up comedy. So we're like putting one on. Within like 3 or 4 minutes, I'm like, turn it off. Put another one on. We never found one that night. And it was like everybody had to be either vulgar or it was real, like, demeaningly talking about our politics, our government, whatever. And I'm like, we can poke some fun and have some good time. What's his name? Will Ferrell did one that was on George W. Bush, did a stand-up routine, and it was hilarious. And I was a Bush fan.
Yeah.
But Will Ferrell, he just did this parody of him, and I laughed I'm telling you, I'll go back and watch snippets of it just to get a giggle.
Right.
And I was like, that's the fun stuff. We have fun.
Just have fun.
In our comedy.
That's why I like Dry Bar Comedy so
Yeah.
much. Just because it's just fun. It's silly. And not all the comedians that are on there are good comedians, but some of them are hilarious. And some of them are like, because Dry Bar Comedy is based in Utah.
Okay.
But they've actually been traveling around. I found out a year or so ago they were here.
Oh, wow.
And I I didn't know about it until after they were gone, because I totally would have like gone out and driven a little extra Uber to go see some comedians in person. But they were up north off of Northwest Expressway. I don't remember the name of that comedy bar up there, but there was a comedy bar that they came to.
See, because I like going to comedy bars. I think they're fun.
And so they've started, traveling around, that they bring comedians in, and a lot of them are professional, and they'll get up there and make jokes about, when I got a call saying I was doing a show in Utah, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to write some new stuff.
Can't have that conversation. But what's really interesting is that when, it's going back, you were talking about how Khalid and his wife do the videos to break the stereotype. We have stereotypes here.
Yeah.
And it's, even in, we talk about, oh, look at, that Muslim man beats his wife. There's like men here that beat their wives.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Domestic violence knows no ethnicity.
Right.
It's a vibration from inside. But we have a lot of stereotypes of people here. So, and then when you meet somebody and you're like, you're a Mormon?
Right. It's like,
what? That's not Mormon-y to me, Define what a Mormon looks like, just like, it was like when I used to be a catechist. And so you would look at the books that the church would give you to teach, catechism to the kids. And I'm looking at that, okay, ain't nobody look that happy in the real world. No, I was like,
Sometimes I feel like, and I actually have Pioneer Guard, because I used to do a little bit of reenacting when I lived down in Duncan. We would do shootouts, and so.
Oh, that's cool.
Like Old West type shootouts system. And then, because we celebrate Pioneer Day, pioneers reaching Utah Valley, and so, over the years I've collected prairie skirts and made them, and,
More Eagles Wilder.
I have bonnets, we used to go to the Fur Trade Rendezvous down in Fort Washita.
She reincarnated as from.
So we would get dressed up to go down to those, because when you go to the fur trade, they would have, they had a pathway that was lined with vendors and stuff, and they had rules about who could be vendors and what could be sold and what couldn't be sold, and they try to make it as authentic as possible as what a trade day would look like, And so the first time we just went regular street clothes, and it was fun. But the next time we went, we dressed up, and all the kids were dressed up in everything, and we had more fun dressed up in period clothing, than we did not. We found that the vendors actually would take the kids aside and teach them things. Like my boys learned how to make fishing line out of yucca leaves.
Oh, that's so cool.
They're so cool. And then they, I know one
going to Williamsburg.
One year we went, and one of the, somebody had caught a beaver. And so they pulled the kids over to their campsite and was showing them this beaver and talking about how they tan the hide and use the fur and
cool.
eat the meat. They use every part of it.
Beaver stew.
Yeah, and it was really cool. So we found that, I don't even know how we got on that subject. We get all garby, we dress up in our garb and go out and do some of those things. It's actually more fun.
No, I think that's really cool. I would love to do something like that. I think that would be a lot of fun to do. Yeah. I could do that.
Well, if they have it next year, we should go. It's usually the first weekend in April.
Yeah. I think I'm going to get some Native American garb.
That would be awesome.
Go as
You could.
I could actually go as
We could actually go and be vendors, because they have different types of vendors. We could be a blanket vendor, which means we would just take a couple of quilts and lay them out, and then we could cover ourselves.
Oh, well, I'm sitting here thinking I can go get some Appletons. No.
That would be fun too.
Let's weave blankets this summer. During our downtime. Actually, it's kind of like, I'm getting committed. I've been trying to do crafty things to release some of my emotions.
It's supposed to be in the air.
So I did 9 pour paintings in a day.
Nice.
And you could tell that they looked horrific at the very beginning. It was like, I was like, the whole time I'm doing that. And then at the end, they started looking really pretty. And and you're like, oh, I love that. Because it was like Brandon King, he goes, I love that. And it's like, I like that. And I'm like, okay.
That's really what you want.
That's just my emotions out on a paint canvas, dude, you know. And then, so then I made bath bombs with cannabis oil. Okay, and it was like the home, you know, home brew. And I guess I got carried away with the cannabis oil. So at first, you know, I had some and they were nice, you know, bath bombs. And then they started expanding and it turned into a bath blob. And then they dried, and so now we just take a pick and a hammer and we just break off what we want to use and throw it in the bathtub. But they like blew up like the blob, and so one of my Facebook friends, you know, writes a comment on there along the lines, "There's too much humidity in the air." And I'm like, dang it.
That's a good thought too.
You know,
yeah.
So
we've done shower melts here in the herb classes, and we're like, okay, don't put too much liquid in it. You have to get it just to the point where it sticks together, and that's it. And you have to pack it barely. And then we didn't try 4 or 5 times, and we couldn't get it right. And then
I know. So I have a barometer at my house, and I'm thinking about bringing up a barometer and putting it in the workroom. And then that way, you know, in the workroom, then I can go through and just start manipulating, you know, manipulate whatever I'm going to make that day based on the barometer. You know, that's too humid, we ain't doing.
Yeah, growing up when we made candy, it was always my mom would be like, check the weather. I was thinking about making candy today, but check the weather first.
Yeah, because if
it was overcast or, you know, gonna rain, then you can't make candy.
Shoot, I made fry bread and it was horrible.
Really?
Yes. Because normally I use yeast when I make fry bread. So I did my thing, and I know I did my yeast right and everything, you know, because it gets all frothy. And I put it in, and I raised it. Well, normally what I do is I'll raise it in like one ball. I'll raise it, and I'll take it, and I'll get the individual pieces for the fry bread, and then I'll raise them again and do it. So I did a different recipe where they only raised it once. So they made the balls, and then you raised each one up, and then you roll it out. It was like, I was like, yeah, we're not taking pictures of this because I usually get mine really thick and fluffy, and they'll be like, you know, that did not happen.
So I was going to bring you some today too when I got here. And, oh, dang it, I forgot to grab those. I made English muffins.
No way!
English muffins are fun to make. People don't realize it because I told my husband, I said, I make English muffins. And he's like, okay. I said, I need you to pull the folding table into the living room. And I was like, you kid, go get the electric skillet, go set it up, get it plugged in for me. I need a pizza pan. I was like ordering the
while you're sitting here doing this.
No, I was mixing the dough. So English muffins have yeast in them, but they're cooked on a griddle. So you make your dough, and then you roll it out and you cut them. And I use the wide mouth canning lids because they make the perfect size English muffin. You cut them in the thickness of the canning lid is about the thickness that you want when you cut them out. And then I just stack them up on a platter. When after I cut them out, I put cornmeal down, and then I'll put the dough, English muffin doughs down, and then cornmeal, and just stack them up so they don't stick together. And then you dust your griddle with cornmeal, and you sit there and you flip them about every 3 minutes.
How long do you let them raise?
Well, I let the dough raise for about an hour, and then I roll it out, and then I don't let them raise again. I just let them, but they end up because you're cooking them kind of on a low heat, because you don't want the outside to cook too fast. And so when you put them on the griddle, they raise.
Okay, I'm like excited now.
So good. So we had some friends that stopped by last night, and we were chatting and whatever, and made a store run late last night. And came back and said, hey, you want to try English muffin? And they're like, yeah. And so we pulled out some apple butter friend of ours had made, and there was about that much apple butter left in the jar. And we were talking and yucking it up and laughing and stuff, and those two sat there and ate probably 2 or 3 English muffins apiece. They were dipping it in the apple butter. They're like, this is so good. You know?
No, because I'm over there like, because when you were talking about that, I was like, peach butter, apple butter, peach marmalade, how about some jelly, some jams?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be so good. How about a peach honey, you know?
Well, what happened was I was craving English muffins, and I love an English muffin that's toasted, that's just soaked in butter. I mean, I like them just really buttered up, and then a little bit of jam on them or something. And so I was craving. I was like, oh, nice hot English muffins, so good. Well, I've gone to Dollar Tree because my crafting thing has been, I have made all of these crazy big. I've got probably, I don't even know, 10 Christmas wreaths made. That's been my crafting binge lately. And so I've gone into Dollar Tree to get some more supplies. I'm Dollar Treeing these things, by the way. They're pretty cool looking. And I'm like, oh, they have English muffins. I'm going to get a package of English muffins. And I went, oh, they have bagels. I'm going to get a package of bagels. They're only $1. You know why they're $1?
Because they're horrible.
It's awful.
Yeah, that's
They were disgusting. So I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm just going to make some.
See, I'm like, yeah, I'll make my own. Oh my God, yeah.
So, yeah, the kids are all like, well, Daniel, I guess, doesn't remember me making them. I used to make them all the time, but I think that was before he came around. And
he was baby number 6.
I know, right? I just have
Do you even have pictures of Daniel?
A few, but not very many.
Yeah, so it's like your younger kids have like 0 pics.
I know. So he's all like, these are so good. They were eating them as I was pulling them off the griddle. I'm like, stop! I had to go make an extra batch of dough.
Alright, so she needs to post the recipe of the dough.
I think
Khalid's link.
Yeah, and I think the recipe's on my it is on my personal Facebook page. So I'll share it with you. Yeah, Khalid's link, because he's pretty awesome. His wife. He and his wife are hilarious. There's one where he's like, I'm going to give my wife a special spa day.
Oh no.
And he sits her down in a chair and he's doing all this stuff to her, and it's hilarious. Her reactions are funny because he'll say, we do this, and because we do this, this happens. This is why we do this. She says,
you know, I've been trying to get the man to do a podcast with me. He said, I don't like the way I sound. And I'm like, I love the way you sound. And then, you know, we're all saying, he'll just like, no, I can't do that. And I'm like, maybe we can do videos. I'll show him those and I go, we can do our version of that, you know. And he'll probably go, oh God, no.
Yeah, the spa day thing is hilarious because she's like rolling her eyes the whole time.
No, see, I like that.
It was really funny.
We'll have to catch that. So, well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's wrapping up on the hour here, and so that means that our day needs to begin. I have to go to Walmart. Yeah, I need to go and get some metal paint. Maybe I can do that all over a Dollar Tree, because I need to get some paint, some wooden sticks and stuff. So I got to go to Dollar Tree.
Has some.
But I think they also have like the metal cooking pans.
Yeah, especially the one over here on 240 usually has tons of them.
Okay, so I'm going to be out of here because I'm going to go to Dollar Tree. I like that Dollar Tree. That means everything I buy is $1. So I know that I can get 19 items today.
Because that's how much money she has.
That's how I'm when I'm budget. Well, y'all know I'm going to spend more than that, but that's what I'm budgeted for my BS spending. You know, so $19. Well, because the other buck covers the tax.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I think we're still at 8.7 or 8.4%.
Hasn't made it to 15 yet.
Not yet. Just wait. January 21st.
There you go.
All the taxes go up, so we will be accepting cash only.
Right. You shouldn't advertise that.
No, just joking.
Just kidding. Really.
No, seriously, I prefer the way I have it, because the company that I do my booking and my financial stuff with does all my paperwork for taxes. So it's like then I don't have to you.
Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
You know, I was going to say my daughter-in-law Monica and my son Juan and my son Michael are doing things, or I guess are running the show. I guess I don't have to do that anymore. I'm like kind of like, yeah.
No, as my kids have gotten older, it's like, I used to be like all stressed out about making Thanksgiving perfect. Of course, we didn't have any family close by, so Thanksgiving dinner was happening. It was me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I can like pat myself on the back. I've trained my kids well. I don't know.
Yeah.
So like I have a little, in fact, the Facebook chat's going on right now because they're all planning.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
So they're all, I'm bringing this, and I've got this, and who has that?
Oh, I've got.
Somebody doing this. And,
I've been assigned the candied yam stuff.
Nice.
And then I was also assigned the cranberry sauce because we are the only, Brandon and I are the only two that eat cranberry sauce.
Oh,
so
that's
like,
sad.
I'm
Cranberry
bringing
sauce is yummy.
Oh, I know. And then he's also, so they're making steak and turkey for Thanksgiving over there. Brandon's smoking a turkey. I got a butterball sitting out on my stove. They're going to smoke that. And then he's going to make dressing. And I'm like, I hope that he moistens the dressing this go around, because the last time he made the turkey, he put the dressing in dry into the little cave of the turkey.
I'm having visions of a turkey having a bloated turkey.
So it sucked. Just saying. Alright, so hey, there's Monica. Hi, Granny.
Hey, Monica.
Oh, it's Vincent. Hi, Vincent. My Vinny was on there.
Aww.
Yeah, that's one of my grandsons. You must have heard me talking about I want to take him to. But I want to take you to Windstar, and then we're going to go to Choctaw, so y'all can go bowling like Granny gambles. I'm such a good influence on my grandkids. I was like, we wanted to travel down that road. But peace, love, and harmony. Peace, love, and harmony.
We love you.
We love you, and happy Thanksgiving. Reach out, love your family, love your friends, embrace them. If you can't do it face to face, call them, text them, let them know how groovy they are in your life.
Show a little gratitude. Gratitude is very healing.
Very much so.
Very, very healing. So make all your posts on Facebook and social media about things you're grateful for.
And we are definitely grateful for you.
That's right.
Have a great day and a wonderful holiday. Peace, love, and harmony.